That's my glass gem corn. It's a little late to grow this year, so next year I'm gonna plant these seeds and hopefully get a whole bunch of cool looking ears of corn, and then hopefully I can save some seed out of that and send it to anybody else who might want to grow it. The ears on this type of corn is really cool looking. I'll show you some pictures of it. Also got some mammoth sunflower seeds. This a lady from California sent this to me. She goes by Garden Girl 1107, I believe. And I'm looking forward to trying. She said that these sunflower seeds she has been growing since she's been a little girl. So she saves seeds from it every year and grows them every year, so that should be kind of cool. And then I got some oats. That's cat grass basically. Got some, picked a couple more of these gourds. They got hard and stopped growing, so I figured I'd better pull them out so the plant can give energy to the other gourds. But it's a weird looking gourd, isn't it? It's got looks like it grew upside down because the big end is supposed to be at the top. And then this little guy, I don't know what the heck happened to him, but I'm still waiting for these suckers to dry out. It's been off the vine for probably over a month now, and it's hard as a rock, but it's not dried out yet. This one is almost dried out. It's real light, but I can't hear any seeds or anything in there. And this one was dried out, and I ended up messing it up, which is kind of sorry because I was planning on using it with this one and this one, or maybe it was this one, I don't know. But I was gonna string these up, and they were all gonna hang down, you know, like that, and they were gonna have lights in them, like little spotlights, you know, be like a gourd chandelier type thing. But I cut this one. I cut too much off the bottom and it didn't look right. But at least now I know when I cut these how to cut them so they don't screw up. And here's my Ipu Pawehe method of coloring a gourd. Basically what I did was I took a blade and scraped the skin off in some locations, and then made some really strong coffee that I put in here, and then occasionally I fill up the gourd with the coffee, and where the places where the skin is still attached turns really dark brown, while the rest of it stays light colored. So that should be pretty cool to see how that turns out. It's been I've been putting coffee in it for about 2 weeks, so it's supposed to be done. Some people recommend 3 weeks, so I think next weekend I'll probably pour all the coffee out, clean it out real good, and let it dry out, and then wash the skin off of it later and see what we got. Here's the watermelon. It seemed to have stopped growing. I was watering it the other day, and my little watering thing got caught up in the pot, and it fell off. And this thing fell off too, and it went crashing to the ground, and it made a big old loud thumping sound, and it stopped growing. So I don't know if it's dead or not, but I guess we'll see. And then those mammoth sunflower seeds I was telling you about, I planted a couple of those in there. She told me not to plant them real deep, so they're not that deep. I think they're probably maybe a ½ inch under the soil top there. And this thing right here, this was a gourd that I colored. I put a copper colored paint on it. It looks pretty cool, and I wanted to put yeah, it's dry now. I put a varnish on it, I guess, whatever this stuff is, shellac, to make it, to see if it would work. And it's real shiny. Looks pretty cool. Let's see. There's the catnip. It's all starting to dry up. Bunch of seeds and stuff. If anybody wants any catnip, I got a bunch of it, a bunch of seeds I can send to you. There's Bentley's. Bentley's tombstone. And Bentley's catnip. There's a volunteer cherry tomato. And I just decided to let it grow, see if I can get any tomatoes off of it. Took some of those gourd seeds and I planted a couple in here just to see if they would grow. And they did. So I took a couple more. I've got so many of them now that it doesn't really matter. So I planted a bunch of them in there around this tree right here. That'd be cool if I figure I got about, today is September the 1st, so I've got about 2.5 months left before our first frost. Maybe a little bit longer than that. So I think it'd be cool if those gourds grew fast enough and climbed up the tree. Wish I'd have thought about that sooner, because that gourds would probably be a lot better off over here than they are over there. But they're still growing like crazy and getting new ones every day. And there's probably 14 or 15 of them on these 2 plants right here. I knocked this one off the other day and got all scratched up. Spaghetti squash. That's a zucchini. I'm hoping that they grow fast enough to where I can get a few of them before the season ends. And then these dang tomatoes, man. Every day I come out here and pick 2 or 3 hornworms off of them. It's just too hot right now. They're just not producing anything. But I'm gonna keep them going because it'll start cooling down in September, and with how big these things are right now and how fast they're growing, and with all the flowers on them, they're gonna end up putting out a lot of tomatoes. See, I cut all the damaged parts where the hornworms damaged the plants. So hopefully if there are any more that'll get on there, I can see them faster. Because those things are horrible, man. They just destroy everything real quick. The watermelon here, this thing kind of got eaten by some bugs, or not eaten, but infested with some bugs under the leaves. And I sprayed it with some insecticide. So I'm hoping I can get a watermelon off of this thing before the end of the season. There's a baby right there. Hopefully I can get that one pollinated, because it's got male flowers on it. It's looking healthy and good. Just doesn't have any watermelons on it right now. Purple hull peas, I don't know what the problem is, but they look healthy and everything looks fine with them, but they're just not putting out any peas. I got plenty of flowers, and it's like the flowers just don't turn into peas like they're supposed to. I don't know what the problem is. Maybe if Susan, I'm Still Working Lady, if she can see this video, maybe she'll tell me what I'm doing wrong here. Peppers are just tearing it up. These things are just, I don't know, they just grow like crazy. Here is my sunflowers that I planted from the seeds I got from Gardening Girl 1107, and I planted them just a couple days ago. And if you look right there, one of them is already coming up. I don't know what's wrong with this dang thing. It stopped growing. I dropped it. Actually, it fell off this wall right here, and it doesn't look like it's been growing since I dropped it.